Are you serious? Are you serious? North Korea, urgent, 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 high alert. Now, this is getting beyond serious. We already know that Kim Jong-un has the capability of firing rockets, putting satellites in space, and having them go over top the Super Bowl an hour after the game is over. We already know he has nuclear weapons. We already know he's not afraid to push the green button, not afraid to assassinate his own family, not afraid to feed his uncle who put him in power after his daddy died, not afraid to feed him to 120 hound dogs in a cage to be eaten alive, not afraid to execute his former girlfriend, not afraid to execute his aunt and cousins, not afraid to blow his defense minister apart, not afraid to fill a stadium of 10,000 people and bring 15 people in front of them and mow them down with machine guns in cold blood, not afraid to allow slave prisons to operate in his country, to brutalize Christians, to murder those that pray, to make everyone worship him like a god. He's worse than Nebuchadnezzar ever thought of being. I don't think we understand. Yet at the same time, he has a fascination with Dennis Rodman and the Chicago Bulls. And he has spent more time in the basement of the palace playing with video games with his Xbox than he has literally running the nation. This is an insanity, a narcissistic, self-proclaimed, demonically possessed, evil entity, a last day attempt by Satan to bring insanity into an already troubled world. Now he has put all of his nuclear weapons on high alert. And I don't think the world's taking him serious, and that's the problem. He's dangerous because he is not afraid to do anything. North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un ordered his country to be ready to use its nuclear weapons at any time and to turn its military posture to the preemptive attack mode. So in other words, get ready for a preemptive attack in the face of a growing threat from the enemies, according to official media today. Now, the comments carried by official KCNA news agency, a further escalation of tension on the Korean Peninsula after the United Nations Security Council imposed harsh new sanctions against the isolated state for its nuclear program. Kim Jong-un made the comments as he supervised the exercise of newly developed multiple rocket launchers. KCNA News reported it did not mention, though, the date of the drills, but said the new weapons had South Korea within range. Kim Jong-il also said North Korea should bolster up its nuclear force, both in quality and quantity, and stressed the need to get the nuclear warheads deployed for national defense always on standby so as to be fired at any moment. According to the KCN news agency, they were quoting him saying, "Now is the time for us to convert our mode of military counteraction toward the enemies into a preemptive attack, one in every aspect." Folks, let me just say this. If there was ever a moment, that a major crisis moment, where there is a possibility, I'm going to throw this out there. It's at this moment that when he starts to get these nuclear warheads pointed and ready, locked and loaded to fire, if there was ever a time that he could be assassinated internally, it will be in the next 30 days. Because as they're gearing these weapons up, and they know his mindset, they have watched the brutality. Look, all right, I mean, he would make Jack the Ripper blush. This guy literally is beyond your ability to even comprehend. And they know this. And there is, and I believe this, because there's too many Christians in that country praying to God for deliverance. There's too many Christians here praying to God to stop the madman and to liberate the people of North Korea. If there was ever a moment, a window, where he could be assassinated from internally, that someone could rise up among his most trusted, is in the next 30 days. To bring an end to a regime of a third generational curse that has plagued the peninsula of Korea since the Korean War. This is the time, because you cannot have someone with this much mental instability to have his finger on the green button. I'm going to be back with more current world events. And this world, I mean, we've got ISIS, we've got all kinds of things happening around the globe. We have a situation right now, folks, where the Kurds just shot down the Turkish helicopter after Turkey has been bombing the Kurds for no reason. Turkey's bombing the Kurds, 75% Christian Kurds, but won't shoot one bullet toward ISIS. Why? Because they've been buying the oil from ISIS. Russia is to the point of almost a preemptive strike on Constantinople. And while these things are happening, Saudi Arabia is trying to build a Sunni coalition of 250,000 soldiers to invade northern Syria, to stop Assad and the Iranians. The Iranians are working on their nuclear weapons and have already threatened to eliminate Israel or annihilate Israel off the face of the planet. There are people working evil intent on every side. This is a critical time in history. And I don't know if we know it. Are you saved? Something biblical is going on with the signs of the second coming of Christ. And when the Bible says there shall be false Christ and false prophets shall rise, and they shall deceive many, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. But see that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. The end is not yet. No. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, pestilences, diseases, plagues, earthquakes in diverse places. And all of these are just the beginning of sorrow. Are you saved? Give your life to Jesus Christ. Live in the victory. Live in the kingdom blessing. You can do this. It's time.